Hi class, my name is Aiden Meredith and this is my food presentation number 2. I've decided to do it over Japanese tea leaves and matcha. To start off, we're going to go over the food tea leaves. So historically, tea leaves were brought to Japan by Buddhist monks a long time ago. And primarily, they helped monks stay awake during long meditations, which I thought was really cool. Culturally, tea houses promote simplicity and equality, in which tea houses are just like buildings with little stools you sit on, which are extremely close to the ground, and you just kind of hang out and drink tea together. And upon reading about tea houses, they have really low door frame ceilings, like what you have to walk underneath through a door, in order to promote equality, because everybody has to duck no matter how tall you are. So that was pretty cool. Religiously, they helped monks, yeah. Socially, they were used by samurais during political meetings. So they were almost like a communal thing, tea was, to where you drank it during important events. That was pretty cool. And then another social use is tea was a common gift, symbolized respect. The nutritional composition of tea leaves is right over here, in which they're not as profound in caffeine as coffee, but in general they're all extremely low calorie, which is pretty cool. And so it just depends on what type of caffeine you're looking for, in which all of the tea leaves are natural caffeines. So instead of their jump being super crazy caffeinated to super uncaffeinated and like a crash is what we call that, they're just kind of easygoing all the way down, which is cool. And yeah, a bunch of different types of tea that provide caffeine. Now, how tea leaves help preventing or causing human disease is they have high antioxidants, which help to prevent cell damage, in which they can help fight cancer, which I thought was crazy. They're bacterial aesthetic, which they inhibit bacterial growth and reproduction, so keep bad bacteria out of your body. Amino acids, great all around. They help build proteins, part of the protein synthesis. And then non-alcoholic staphylococcus. This is from a peer-reviewed article in which they had a bunch of rats with really bad liver fattiness that was inhibiting their everything. And so they started feeding them tea, and that liver fat slowly just went away. So that was really interesting to read about. How to tell if they're fresh or high quality. What you're looking for is this color, really. You want it to be green, especially if it's green tea. That's how you know it's fresh. It's just like lettuce. You don't really want any brown or spottiness or mold or discoloration or not good smell. So yeah, kind of just like lettuce, you're looking for what looks good and what smells good. Agricultural information. They thrive in mild and humid climates, so near the equator, but not tropical, a little bit higher. Like Japan level and China level. They thrive in lots of rain and well drained, so fresh water coming in and out of them. And they grow on low bushes, low to the ground, so if you are harvesting by hand, it might hurt your back over time. Yeah, there are multiple harvests per year as well, which was pretty cool to read about. So they normally go through 3 phases, the first of which takes the longest, and that produces the most high quality leaves. The second of which is second longest, and it's okay quality. And then the third harvest is the fastest, and it produces the lowest quality. Next up, the traditional dish, matcha. made from tea leaves. So matcha is, which I didn't even know this, but what matcha is steamed green leaves, and then what they do is they compress them and they ground them into powder after drying them, to where you just have like tea powder almost. And what's really cool is it holds a lot more nutrients than the tea itself if you were to just put water over it, which is pretty cool. History and current issues. So matcha is closely tied to Buddhism. As we previously mentioned, it was brought by Buddhist monks, in which it helped them with their meditation, in which they can dial in more and just feel almost relaxed at the same time. So more focused in that aspect. Spiritual focus, yeah. Represents wabi sabi, which I found this out while doing a project and it was pretty cool. So wabi sabi is finding beautiful in simplicity and imperfection, which is an awesome saying, and I might even be using it myself, wabi sabi. So that was pretty cool, and that's what matcha represented and still does. Historically, or socially, matcha was used by high status people like samurais and monks when it was first introduced. So if you were a high class person or if you were well respected amongst the community, those are the people who usually drank matcha from the beginning. Prepared, it's a powder, just like Gatorade powder or something. You could mix it with water. Or right here is a cool recipe if you want to make like a matcha coffee type of deal or a matcha latte. Nutritional composition. So this is the nutritional breakdown. If you were to make that matcha latte, it include some syrup and whole milk. As you can see, decent protein, decent calories, a little bit of sugar. Or who doesn't like sugar? And yeah, if you were to just mix it with water, it'd be extremely low calorie and high caffeine, just like black coffee. So this is the matcha I tried. It's my girlfriend's. It was actually really good, in which I'm not a super big sweets person ever. So matcha kind of twisted me up because I was looking at it and I was thinking like it's gonna taste like a milkshake, in which it didn't. It was pretty good. While being semi-sweet and creamy, it also wasn't too over the top sweet. It wasn't like I'm drinking straight syrup or straight sugar, in which that might have just been the way Starbucks made it, in which they did a good job. But yeah, the one that she had was a strawberry matcha, in which there were, I think like strawberry syrup or strawberry puree down on the bottom, which is pretty fruity. So that was really good. And yeah, even though it was semi-sweet, not super sweet, it tasted like a dessert, but not a really sweet dessert, in which I liked it. I liked it a lot. I might be going back to matcha. Compared to my own life, personally, like I said, I don't really like all the sweet stuff, so if I'm drinking coffee, it's mostly black. But at the same time, the matcha drink that she had was really good. It was creamy and fruity, and still had that caffeine factor, which was really cool to taste. Originally I thought matcha was just like a ladies' drink. Like if you had matcha, you were somewhat girly, but as it turns out, originally it was the complete opposite, in which it was rarely drank by ladies, especially when it was first brought to Japan. In which now I've changed my perspective about it, in which I think matcha is just cool now. It's like tea almost. Well, it is tea, but it's like more nutritional green tea, which is very cool. The history of matcha was awesome. Thinking about how samurais drank matcha, super cool. Buddhist monks drink matcha, super cool. So yeah, that was great all around. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And here are the peer-reviewed sources. There are 4 in total. And then here are the other sources. There are also 4 in total. So thank you very much for your time.